Meeting is being recorded.
March meeting of Southtown 911 Board of Directors, roll call.
Board Member Branstetter.
We got feedback.
Board Member Bushnell is excused. Oh.
We'll see you.
Board Member Holm, will you mute yourself for just a moment? Thank you. Board Member Casebolt.
Here.
Board Member Denson. Board Member Holm.
Here.
Board Member Hubler.
Here.
Board Member Holsey.
Here.
Board Member King is absent. Board Member Alternate Lane for Board Member Mello.
Here.
Chair Rumbaugh.
Here.
And Vice Chair McGilligan.
Here. Any public comment?
None today.
Thank you very much. Approval of the agenda. Anything on there? Has everybody been able to read the agenda? Everybody good? Is there a motion?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Further comments? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Yeah.
All opposed? Approval of the agenda. Now approval of the consent agenda. Everybody, go ahead.
Item number 1, approval of the minutes of the February 18th, 2026 Board of Directors meeting. And item number 2, motion 2026-09 to authorize approval of an updated radio system services agreement with Pierce County, not to exceed $281,870.88 for 2026.
Comments? Questions? Seeing none? Motion?
So moved.
Moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Consent agenda approved. At this time, we're going to move to the employee recognition. Our exec will be reading the names. Congratulations to everybody that's on this list. We appreciate you to the point that without you, we can't run. So just right up front, and you guys have done a great job. So I'll turn it over to the exec.
Thank you for those comments, Mr. Vice Chair. That's exactly right. And so it's our annual awards for the agency, and we recognize based on values that the agency holds as well as a group performance. So I'll read out initially the awards that are given based on our values. So we have a core value of integrity and Keegan Williams from communications. And folks can come forward, by the way, if they happen to be present. There will be a photo. Core value of respect, Allison Clark from communications. Core value of service, Allison Cobb from communications. The core value of unity is Jackie Medina from communications. Mentor of the year is Taylor Paulmore from communications. Star player of the year is Amy Martin, and Amy Martin's also in the group as well. Trainer of the year is Molly Romani from communications. And I'll let those process through, and then I'll read the group. It's only fair that you become slightly uncomfortable. That's what your reward for superb performance. So thank you very much. Are you ready? You go for it. Okay. And then I'll start queuing up the rest of the group. This is the Team Collaboration Award, Communication Supervisor. So we have Matthew Brooks, Karen Brown, Brandy Clift, Peter DeKina, Doug Garrison, Marcy Heisler, Tiffany Hershaw, Courtney Kruger, Amy Martin, Nolan McCann, Kayla McPhillip, Tina McMillan, Crystal Morgan, Art Nikish, Taylor Palmore, Megan Raymond, and Alicia Reynolds. If you're here, welcome back. Amy, you're taking the whole thing for the team.
Yes.
Appreciate it. So I just wanted to say thanks. I know all of you aren't here, but sometimes it feels empty when we say thanks. I read your reports every morning. I don't feel what you feel, but it gets to me. So I know what you face every day. It's important. Thank you.
Once again, thank you for your dedication and your hard work. As the executive stated, without you, this organization doesn't run. And right now, this organization is running very smooth. And it's due to the dedication that you all present to us. And you guys being the leaders really means a lot to us. So thank you very much. A round of applause. Okay, at this time, we're going to go to committees and other reports, and that will lead us off into the Finance Committee briefing. Sarah's
Chair had asked for finance director.
Can I explain why?
Which titles here? Finance director to read the report.
Yes. And
Good morning. Oh. Do you want me to say something?
if you want, yes.
Oh, I
if you'd
just want to say, just because I'm the chair now, I don't think I should be giving the finance report. And so we'll be taking care of the finance issue as soon as we get through this agenda, like into the agenda. But I wanted to thank our amazing finance director for giving this report today.
Of course, no problem. There were two main topics on the Finance Committee agenda this month. The first is the updated procurement policy and its associated purchasing manual, which was moved forward by the committee for the Board of Directors consideration at the meeting this morning. The proposed policy aligns procurement thresholds with state and federal requirements and increases the executive director approval authority from 50,000 to 100,000. The recommended change in the board approval threshold is to improve efficiency and reduce procurement delays since the board only meets once per month currently. So the committee also reviewed items approved by the board for the past 2 years, which indicated the majority of those purchases are routine, are the ones that are between that $50,000 and $100,000 mark. And this list is on page 65 and 66 of your agenda packet, and we'll talk more about that under action items. And then the second item the committee looked at was the proposed resolution for a budget request procedure to replace our current reimbursement policy. The primary change is to have the requests come through one of the members of the board of directors, but the committee has requested that that be reviewed by the PSCOC, and so they will do that at their April meeting. That includes my report.
Mr. Brandstetter.
With the idea that a request come through a member of the board, how formal a procedure are you envisioning that being? Is it a board member sending a letter? Is it some sort of just mentioning it at the budget retreat? That seems a little vague, and that on the fire agency side, all the fire agencies have a board member designated to represent you. There's two, and then there's someone who represents all the small agencies. Mm-hmm. That's not true on the law enforcement side. The board is made up of 7. There are 7 agencies that have seats on the board, but there are none that are but then there are smaller agencies that don't really have a designated voice on the board.
They are represented by the City of Fife and City of Bonnie Lake, all of the smaller entities. So that's in the bylaws, I believe.
Okay, I guess in the sheet that we got in our packet, it that wasn't spelled out like it was for the fire folks to do that. But I am thinking that as this moves forward to some actual adoption, putting the procedure for a board member to move something forward, needs to be defined as to procedure.
Okay, great. No, we appreciate that input. Any other questions?
Any other questions, comments? Thank you, Janet. Do we need a motion for this?
There's a question from Chief Engel.
Oh, I see that. Chief Engel?
Representing the city of Puyallup. Question for Janet. Do you see the three owners of the radio system, if we have radio system needs, making our requests through our elected officials on the board, or are we working directly with South Sound staff?
Well, currently we only have the reimbursement policy in place, so that would be going through, sending a request through to South Sound 911 staff at this time. So again, the resolution will be reviewed by the PSCOC in April. And so if we change that procedure, we'll send out the communication.
Thank you.
You bet.
Thank you for that. Now we have moving down to, and that's it for the Finance Committee right now. Okay, we're going to move down to staff reports and the Executive Director, Mr. Yamamoto.
And good morning again, board. The practice of, we typically do a Heroes Wear headsets here. Sometimes it's nice to hear from the outside folks. You know, we talk about our triumphs and our successes here, but sometimes it adds something additional to it when we get recognized by outside agencies. And so there's a couple of scenarios here where that's happened. One was the Central Pierce Fire and Rescue Survivor Ceremony that took place in February, and a number of our folks that work here attended. I'll just read to you the description. Number of South Sound staff were invited to participate at the Central Pierce Fire and Rescue Survivor Ceremony on Saturday, February 28, at the Washington State Fair Event Center. They've added an additional word there. This was an amazing event, bringing together cardiac arrest victims. And what it really does, it connects the folks who have experienced a cardiac event with the folks that actually helped save them or provided medical or health care in that process. And so it's kind of a neat bringing, full circle of the scenario that happens. Oftentimes here, people that take calls or dispatch don't get to hear the rest of the story because they're not participants in the rest of the story. They may follow up on it, but that's not a natural or an expected part. And so sometimes it's a cool thing for just the human experience when people that have been helped by this folks in the system get to meet their people that have played a heroic role in their lives. And so that was a very good day. Also, we had some feedback directly from Deputy Light with the Pierce County Sheriff's Office about telecommunicator Billy Castle. And I'm just going to read the quote because it is a quote from Deputy Light. It says, and this is related to an investigation having to do with the strangling investigation. So heavy subject matter. And the Deputy Light says, while reviewing the 911 recording during the investigation of a DV assault second degree that occurred on February 18, I felt that the call taker on the call did an exceptional job and how they handled the call. The call taker expressed empathy and concern to the caller who was calling to report being strangled by their partner. The call taker did an excellent job with explaining what steps in the process were, listening to the caller and not making them repeat things multiple times, and expressing concern for the caller while they were in the situation. The caller did a great job of calming down the call taker did a great job of calling down the caller and getting the necessary information for the responding officer. So I appreciate Deputy Light's comments because it recognizes, when you're talking to somebody and they're relaying to you probably life and death events, and to be able to maintain professionalism and empathy throughout is so valuable. And you can see how all of you, I suspect, who have been in the industry for a while, recognize how impactful all of you are in that. And that's from first responders to our call takers and dispatchers. So thank you. Additional items in the report. I wanted to talk about we had talked about, and Directing comments to Councilmember Brandstetter. I intended to bring back the reimbursement policy for initial discussion today, but at Finance Committee, the chair had suggested, and I think that was a good suggestion from Chair Rumbaugh, to run it down through PSCOC first, just so they had an initial review, comments, and then it could come back. So it will come back. I'm not trying to dodge the issue at all. And the points that you've raised today are excellent points. What level of involvement should the representatives around the table, the board members, have in those types of budgetary requests that come up? I don't think that issue has been resolved. You folks should speak to that issue and decide what level of involvement you have. But right now, process is PSCOC, and then we'll bring back the reimbursement policy to you folks. Okay, and now I think all of you should really know the core central component of this organization, and that is the cost allocation formulas. So if you want to turn with me to page, let's see, is it 10, page 10. We often talk about cost allocation formula here as in a singular sense, but it's not really the case. We technically have 3-ish. Maybe you can count them as 7. And the cost allocation formulas really determine who pays what into the organization and what seats are apportioned to the various members. The core assessment is the communications assessment, and that's how seats are set. But then there are other assessments that occur because various agencies obtain different services from this agency. And so there's a technology assessment if people sign up for that, and there's various other assessments. But the communications assessment is the core. It allocates your seats, and it also determines how much you pay into the organization. So at the bottom of the page, at page 10, there's one for fire. That's called the Fire Communications Assessment Formula. Won't go through it in any particular detail right now. Next page, on page 11, at the top of the page, there's the Law Enforcement Communications Assessment Formula. And you can see just from the sheer words, it's a bit more complex than the fire assessment formula. And I'll kind of just give you an internal reaction to some of this. By the way, I sat on with Councilmember Brandstetter way back when we helped create some of this. I was not involved in the law enforcement support services formula, which we'll talk about next. But I even, at this point, looking at this formula for law enforcement, go, whoa, I don't remember all the reasons we set this up the way we did. I think some of that's lost to the passage of time, and I think the scenario has changed a bit. The circumstances have changed. So I think what we should do, that you as the board should do, is refresh your familiarity with these formulas at the very least. Everybody on the board should know what they are. And then you always have the prerogative, and it's clear in the charter, you can amend or change or modify the formulas. So our suggestion here is send this down through PSCOC because the PSCOC, I'll say this, members of the PSCOC were the primary folks who helped set up these formulas. I remember Chief Busey, I remember, I think, was it Hausner from Pierce County? I'm looking at, yep. Yeah, so the big group, and it was mostly fire law chiefs or representatives from those agencies, but we did actually have some policy folks on there as well. So, but I do think, we're at 6 or 7 years since these formulas have been in existence. Nearly every board member has changed over now. None of you had anything to do with these. And I think at the very least, again, you should become familiar with them. So we're suggesting process here. And the process would be to run it down through PSCOC because the chiefs are going to have a heck of a lot to say about this. And then let it go through that process and then bring it back to you. And if that's something that's acceptable to you, I have just a simple draft motion that could effectuate that if you'd like.
Questions? Comments? Let's move forward.
Okay, so I'm going to read this motion into the record and somebody can adopt this if they would like. Motion is move to assign review of the cost allocation models to PSCOC for review. And upon completion of a review, request that the PSCOC report to the board and advise the board on any proposed changes to the formula.
So moved.
So moved. Been moved and seconded. Chairman Runbaugh, you good? Okay. Any further comments? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Excuse me, all opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. And we'll have this back to us in April.
It'll be based on, I'm looking for Janet.
Janet?
so We have a, is our,
We'll
A-
talk with
April
the
meeting.
We'll talk with the PSU. They meet on April 2nd.
Oh, okay. So this is nothing we need to rush.
correct.
Let's make sure we get it right the first time.
Yep.
Michael? Excuse me, Mr. Branch.
Yeah, and I would just say, I don't think we want to rush the PSOC. This was 5 months
Yes.
of meetings
Yeah.
and revising it when we came up with this. So I think that there are a lot of realities that the chiefs would want to bring there, and then of course when it comes back to us, it's this board that would overlay some policy considerations on this rather than just the dollars and cents view that in at least historically the chiefs have. So
And
I guess I wouldn't say.
Oh, no, this-
An update would be fine, but I wouldn't want to give a suspense to the PSOC.
Usually if you start off with an update, everybody has comments after you do an update. So this is going to be a lot. This is as I see it, this is one of the core missions of this
Yeah.
board. So it's not something to be taken lightly. And as I think the executive says, and the chair and I had a discussion on this too, is that this is something that we should all be familiar with. And I think, Michael, you're the only one that's sitting here when it was put together. Not saying it's a bad thing, but it'd be nice to have us all under the same umbrella. So I think it's a good move, and I appreciate the motion, and we'll move forward. The chair has a comment.
Yeah, I just want to say that I believe that as we move like into new board members, I think this is something we should be doing more often, is looking at our cost allocation, because I'm not expecting everyone in the world to know what this means. And this is how we're funding. This is money that's going to support our organization from law and from fire. And we should be accurate about what that looks like. So I appreciate that the executive wanted to have this conversation. I didn't know there were 3 formulas. And so I'm excited to have us look at this and learn more. And I think it's important for the small cities to understand this really well. And so I think that for me is like handing that off to them to say you should be talking to other people on your councils about this. I think that's important. So thank you.
Seeing no further discussion, we can move on.
One announcement, Mr. Vice Chair.
Yes,
Our clerk of the board reminds me that next meeting in April, the photo will be taken. So everybody wear your finery. And if for some reason you can't show, just let Marlena know, because we'll reschedule. We want all of you here. We don't like to have to Photoshop you in.
is the sun going to be out?
Well, we'll make arrangements. Yeah.
Okay.
We just ask that you arrive 15 minutes ahead of time, but I'll send you an email and remind you. You're not expected to remember.
Sounds good.
No shorts, Pat.
I'm just asking. With that, the next item is chair comments and bylaws and charter committee, and I'm going to turn that over to the chair.
I know.
Chair
I'm supposed
Rumbaugh,
to-
do you have the document in front of you?
I don't.
Oh, I see. Okay, do you have any comments on this, or do you want us to just move on?
Why don't you move on?
Okay, Marlena? This is this? Me? No. With this, whereas upon recognition, recommendation of the South Sound 911 administrative staff, there is a need to review and update provisions of the charter of South Sound 911 Public Authority and the South Sound 911 Public Authority Governing Board bylaws. Whereas an ad hoc bylaws and charter committee of the board should be established to review the charter and bylaws. Whereas the chair of the board, section 3, point A of the bylaws, has authority to appoint ad hoc committee members. And whereas the following members of the board have expressed interest in serving on the bylaws and charter committee. The people that will be serving on the bylaws will be Deputy Mayor Bushnell, Councilmember Brandstetter, Senior Counsel John Lane, and Councilmember Hubler. Now therefore pursuant to the authority of Section 3-A of the bylaws, an ad hoc committee, the South Sound Board of Directors bylaws and charter committee is established, and Deputy Mayor Bushnell, Brandstetter, Councilmember Brandstetter, Senior Counsel John Lane, and the Councilmember Hubler are appointed to the South Sound 911 Board of Directors bylaws and charter. Signed in to resolution Chair Sarah Runbaugh on March 18th, 2026. We have, I believe that you've been, you were notified by the chair of this. I think you, the ones that we read had volunteered to serve on this committee. Is that correct? Everybody says yes?
Yes.
Okay. So at this time, anything else we need to do? That's it?
That's it.
You made me do this?
Good job.
Yeah.
It came through the authority of the chair.
I knew where it came from. And she's smiling. All right, well, so that's, so now we've established the committee. I think as we move forward, this is going to, like everything else, everything needs to be looked at, massaged, and move forward as we, as a group, as we mature. So I think that's a good move. And thank you for all the board members that volunteered to be on that committee. This time we'll move to the action items.
Item number 1, Resolution 2026-03 to approve the South Sound 911 procurement policy and purchasing manual.
Any comments? Oh, come on in. Oh, yeah.
Mr. Vice Chair, I'll just add a sentence or two while our finance director is coming up. I want to thank Janet and the finance department, as well as Kendra, general counsel. Tremendous amount of work has gone into this purchasing procurement policy updates and then the associated purchasing policy. So we've really needed one here, a manual, and we've got one in place now. It's an excellent one. I even suggested that to other folks is, yeah, you might want to borrow this one that's that good. So very much thank you for all the work.
Thank you. Thank you for the introduction. I appreciate it. So the proposed resolution replaces the agency's current procurement policy and includes the referenced purchasing manual. Updates to the procurement policy is a requirement to be approved by the board of directors. However, the purchasing manual in the future can be updated by the executive director. So as Kevin noted, the policy, both the policy and the manual went through an extensive review process with finance general counsel and the executive director prior to being moved forward by the finance committee for board consideration today. So, and as stated previously, the main change from our current policy is the increase in threshold from 50,000 to 100,000. So as you may be aware, in Pierce County, board approval thresholds vary pretty greatly from 50,000 and in Lakewood and Bonnie Lake up to 500,000 at City of Tacoma. So again, our primary focus is to increase the South Sound 911 threshold is due to the routine nature of most of those purchases between that 50,000 and 100,000 and the infrequency of our meetings. So I'm happy to address any questions.
So we're moving everything from 50 to 100,000.
Yes.
Have we ever done this before?
No.
Okay.
It's been 50,000 since the inception of South Sound.
Since the inception, okay.
Yes.
And cost of living and everything else.
Yes.
Any other questions, comments? Yes, Mr. Brandstetter.
On page 19, what is the significance of your position being the contract signatory for level 1, 2, and 3? Tiers.
Yeah, so that was just to eliminate the amount of contracts going to the executive director for approval. So at the director level, we have authority up to that $50,000 mark. And so that's why it was drawn at that point.
Okay, but all directors have to get your signature.
Yes. So yeah, the contract will go through everything is reviewed by general counsel, signed off by general counsel first before it goes for either finance director approval or executive director approval.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
We had some comments to that.
Go ahead, Mr. Yamamoto.
Councilmember Brandstetter, and a super good question on having Janet as the signatory on contracts. We're such a small agency that, we don't have a contracting department. And what we found early on, at least Janet relays to me, is that contracts would end up in the nooks and crannies of the agency and be sort of lost from oversight and management. And this is a simple mechanism so that it forces all the contracts to go to our designated contract processing unit, which is Stella in finance. So it has a practical reason for forcing the contracts to go into a central area where we manage them and keep track of them. Otherwise, they just end up in people's files and so forth. So there's a really practical reason for this as well.
Okay, any further comments, questions? Seeing none, is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved and seconded. Seeing no further comments, all in favor say aye.
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 All opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Thank you, Janet. Next.
Action item number 2, motion 2026-10 to appoint board chair Sarah Rumbaugh and board members Robin Denson, Matt Holm, and Pat Holsey to the Finance Committee for a 1-year term and designate board member Denson as the chair of the Finance Committee.
Any comments? Nobody wants to remove their name? All in favor, motion to accept?
So moved. Second, whatever.
Moved and seconded by board member Lane and Scott Casebolt. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
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 All opposed? Motion passes. Congratulations. You must have left the room.
Trust in finance.
Any further business, announcements, anything that we need? Okay. Well, I want to thank once again back to the employees and the members and what you guys do for us, and even the heroes with headsets. That's one of those things that it's always nice to hear good things instead of always hearing the bad things. I want to make sure that this board recognizes the dedicated members of South Sound 911. And Janet, thank you for all your help and being the historian on finance, because some of us haven't been here as long as you have, which is not a bad thing. So is there a motion to adjourn? What?
No, I think
Oh, I'm sorry, Chairman Rumbaugh.
I want to say I'm sorry I couldn't be there in person today. It's the National League of Cities, and that's where Councilmember Bushnell and I are. And I sent him to meet Patty Murray so I could be here for this meeting. But I didn't get to say about Kevin's report. I just want people to know that when there's an attempted strangulation, there's a 700 times more chance that person may die from domestic violence if they've been an attempted strangulation. And so I think these calls with with the people on the floor must be very traumatizing to know those facts. And I hope that we really reach out to people, because that phone call where they talk to that person, knowing that they may die eventually at some point during their life, I mean, before, in this traumatic way, is just, for me, sitting here listening to that, I know that outcome because it's been studied at Crystal Judson Family Justice Center. So there's this real direct connection with these calls and what happens to people next. So it's not just a call, it's someone's life. and the fact that there might be those outcomes later. I just hope that we're really leaning into the support that we have for people who are callers on the floor. So I just wanted to say that. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Anything further? Seeing none, there was a motion to adjourn, or is there a motion to adjourn? Is there a second? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed may stay and talk to me until. Thank you very much. Meeting adjourned.
Yeah.
Would have been a lot quicker if that wouldn't be.